So this is a common way that people approach buying a house. They say, like Chuck and Angelica are here, they have $30,000 for a down payment, and their budget can accommodate a monthly mortgage of $1,200. What is the most expensive home they can buy if they can borrow money for 30 years at 7.8% compounded monthly? That sounds a lot like the loan that I had when I first started buying my house. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So we need to ignore the $30,000 to start with because it's going to be added on the end, because we're going to figure out how much their payments will cover. And then they can put that 30,000 down as a down payment. So that's not going to be part of this equation at all. We are wondering how much of a house they can buy, which is going to be our S. Their monthly payment that they can afford is $1,200. The interest rate is 0.078. The M is compounded monthly, so 12, and T is a 30-year loan. My first and best advice to Chuck and Angelica would be don't do a 30-year loan essay. Find what you can afford with a 15-year loan. And so that would be my best advice to you as well. Don't buy a house on a 30-year loan if you can do anything about it. So R over M is going to be 0.08 or 0.78 over 12. I'm just going to leave it as a fraction. And then our MT is 12 times 30 is 360. So our formula is going to look like S equals R times 1 minus 1 plus 0.078 over 12 to the power of negative 360 over 0.078 over 12. And we can go ahead and run that in Wolfram and see what total value of a house these people can afford. So our R, I forgot to put the R in there, didn't I? So our R is going to be $1,200. And so 1,200. Our I is 0.078 over 12. N is 360. And lastly, our I is 0.078 over 12. So the amount that these people can afford to borrow is $166,696 and 65 cents. We need to remember that they are putting some money down on the house. They are putting $30,000 down. So the way that I'll write my answer for part A is they can borrow. My iPad disappeared. I don't know why. I'm going to pause it and get it back on the screen. So there we go. We got the iPad back. They can borrow 166,696.65. The most expensive house they can afford will be that amount plus the $30,000 that they have to put down. So the most expensive house they can afford is $196,000. I'm just adding 30,000 to what I had. 696.65. And how much will this cost them in total is part B. And so what we're needing to do for part B is we know how much the monthly payment is going to be. The monthly payment is $1,200. It's going to be paid every month, so 12 times a year for 30 years. And I'll just do it on my calculator on my phone instead of pulling up Wolfram. So I would have 1,200 times 12 times 30. This is going to cost them $432,000. Oh my God. So this will cost them the home, or total payoff, is $432,000. It seems like a terrible deal. They're buying basically a $200,000 house, so they're getting a house that's worth $196,000, and they're paying $432,000 to do it. That's costing them $236,000 or so in interest. That sucks. Again, my advice to these people would be, hey, do whatever you can to get this 30-year loan out of your life and get a 15-year loan instead. And if you can't do it, you should probably buy a cheaper house, because why do you want to pay this much in interest? I mean, you're not paying all that in interest. You're paying about $236,000 in interest. Why would you do that to yourself? Come on.